one in a few moments, and then also prior to adjourning, we'll open it back up. If you have comments, we ask that they be related to county government matters, and we certainly would welcome your comments both times if you wish to speak both times. If you prefer to speak only one of the two times, or if you're just here to listen, any of that is fine. We do ask for the comment period if you could try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so out of respect for everyone else's schedules, but otherwise we do welcome your comments. We always set aside time for any of the row officers who might be in attendance, but today none of our row officers are here, so that does take us to public comment, and I will open the floor if anybody has a comment at this time. Hearing none. Once again, we'll reopen this before we adjourn. And Debbie, I'll have my packet for you at the conclusion of the meeting. Did everybody get an agenda? Okay, thank you. Under fiscal and contractual, we did receive from two taxing bodies approvals of a repository bid that was made to the tax claim office. The parcel is actually a trailer located at 3053 Harlansburg Road in Scott Township. Parcel number 30-903241. The bidder is Sarah Kennedy, and the amount of her bid is $500. The bid was approved and accepted by the Laurel Area School Board on February 14, and the Scott Township Supervisors gave their approval on March 4. So the two other taxing bodies have approved. Now it comes before us. Vanessa, what number would this be, please? I'm sorry?
53.
53, thank you. Gentlemen, in order for us to take action, it would necessitate then a motion if you're so inclined.
I move we accept the proposal.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none. Once again, this is a parcel, a trailer located in Scott Township, and both the other two taxing bodies have approved. We now have a motion to do likewise. And if there are no other comments, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Also under fiscal and contractual, we have two warrant registers that have been provided to us by the Controller's Office. It's also known as the Check Reconciliation Register. And all of these documents, by the way, if anybody needs to see them, we'll certainly share them with you. Gentlemen, I'll give you time that you need to look them over. They're dated March 12 and March 15 of 2024. And whenever you're ready to make a motion in a second, we can then vote on perhaps accepting these documents.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant registers.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Any questions or concerns regarding the warrant registers? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. In our packet, we have the minutes of the March 12 meeting of the Board of Commissioners. And again, I'll give you gentlemen whatever time you might need to look them over. And whenever you're ready, I could take a motion to adopt the minutes, please.
I moved to accept the minutes from the last week.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Dan. Any questions or concerns regarding the minutes? Hearing none, We'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Under written communications, we did receive one document during the past week. This is an NPDES, National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit renewal application pertaining to the Evergreen Mobile Home Park located in Mahoning Township. This document was submitted to the Meadville office of the Department of Environmental Protection, and we have received a copy of this renewal document. Once again, it's the Evergreen Mobile Home Park in Mahoning Township. Any questions or comments about this document? Hearing none, may I have a motion then to accept it?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you both. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have commissioner reports and comments, and let's see, today it is Commissioner Sonata's turn to go first. Chris?
Thank you, Chairman Vogler. Yeah, I think the last week was another productive week besides visiting throughout the courthouse. Commissioners were invited to all aboard Elwood's monthly meeting. Had an opportunity to participate last year, to get an idea what they're doing, and it is impressive. I give the people on that board some great community leaders from the Elwood City area down there, and their plans for Elwood City for the railroad building, and they're coming along with it, and they gave us a good briefing on it. I think it's very positive for Elwood City and the county as we continue to move forward. Like I said, I've had, I have the honor to serve on the Tourist Promotion Board, and those are the type of things in Lawrence County I think are so important when you can preserve history and you have a community rallying around something. And they have some good ideas and plans, and we'll be invited back for future meetings, just get briefings on what they're doing. So that was my, something I think was special. I want to give them a special acknowledgement because those are really great, former community leaders that sit on that. So I know me and Commissioner Kennedy both have that opportunity to go and participate in their meetings. So that's all I have for this week.
Chris, thank you so much. Commissioner Kennedy?
Chris, I agree with you. We had a great group of gentlemen down there and ladies that are doing what they're doing down there. I got something I noticed this morning on Channel 11 News. I get up early and watch the news. City of Newcastle was recognized, especially the police department, for state-of-the-art simulator that they've installed down at the police department down there to help them do training. And, something that's nowhere else around the area, and Newcastle has it. So you always hear the bad news in Newcastle. There's some good news that they're going on. When Chris and I went down there to the coroner's office, I thought, why do we have this big police building? Then we went inside and found out why, and there's one of the other reasons. So it's nice, and they're going to offer it, set on the news to the other police departments in the community. So nice opportunity for Newcastle there to shine, and we're glad to see it. So that's about it.
Thank you, sir, very much. One other meeting that the three of us were able to attend, actually a couple of other meetings since we last met as a board. We attended the County Planning Commission meeting last Wednesday, which was held at the Taylor Township Municipal Building. And then last Wednesday evening, the three of us were invited to attend the meeting of the Lawrence County Firefighters Association. That was held at the Edinburgh Fire Department building in Mahoning Township. And I also want to kind of give an advance notification. I happened to, last week I attended the monthly meeting of the Enon Valley Historical Society. They always have nice programs down there. And I'll put a plug in for Enon Valley on July 20th, which is a Saturday. They will have their annual community day, which is just a neat day. Debbie, you've probably been to those in the past.
Never.
Oh, I'd highly recommend it. They have a parade at 10 o'clock, they have an opening ceremony at 9, and then different displays and activities throughout the day. And I think they usually end with fireworks, but it's a lot of fun. So I'll put a little plug in for the folks down in Enid Valley Borough. The final thing I'll note is tomorrow is actually Lawrence County's birthday. Tomorrow is the 175th anniversary of the creation of Lawrence County by way of an act of the legislature. And as we've noted here at a few recent meetings, at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, there will be a ceremony upstairs in Judge Motto's courtroom number 1. And we're anticipating perhaps, hopefully, a nice crowd. So there will be opportunities in courtroom 2. If courtroom 1 fills up, people can sit in courtroom 2 and it will be live streamed on a big screen TV there. That's open to the public. We're looking forward to having the Lieutenant Governor speak, and Commissioner Sanada has been kind enough to meet the Lieutenant Governor as he comes in and get him to the courtroom, because you and Mr. Davis served in the legislature together, so you're acquainted with him. So thank you, Chris, for helping us with that. And then, as we've noted, Debbie was able to successfully invite a Newcastle, Lawrence County native, Michael Krause, who now lives and works in Pittsburgh and has an interesting background related to history. And he'll be one of the speakers at tomorrow's event as well. There is a reception following ceremony. They were limited as to the number of tickets they could print because of space considerations that taking place in courtroom 5 in the old courthouse. That reception is actually sold out. They've sold all the tickets, and we're looking forward to that as well. It's been a great committee. The 2 co-chairs are 2 former commissioners, Elizabeth Bertorano and Brian Burek. They've worked very hard, as has the committee as a whole. And one other person that's going to speak is a gentleman from Little Beaver Township, Ian Baker, who designed the flag for the 175th anniversary. He's going to talk a little bit about that flag at tomorrow's event. So we'll all 3 be there, and we're very much looking forward to it. So happy birthday, Lawrence County. That's all I have. Chris or Dan, anything that you need to add? Thank you both. We go on to new business, and the first item in front of us today, which would be Resolution 54, comes from the Planning Office. Amy McKinney is our Planning Director. Amy, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good, hope you're well. You have a proposal for us regarding an agreement for a couple of businesses that have applied for the facade grant program in the borough of Elwood City. Would you like to give us all the details?
Yep, there's 2 on there. One is New Dimensions Comics, and also the Elwood City Revitalization Corporation. Both of them have made application. They were approved by the Elwood City Steering Committee. The New Dimension is asking for funds for a sign for an amount of $615.33. That's how much money we would be giving them. And then Elwood City Revitalization is looking to do some masonry work on the property that they own across from the borough building where the water feature is, the open space there. They want to clean up the masonry on the building, and they can be afforded about $5,000. That was also sent to the Elwood City Steering Committee group. They've already reviewed both these applications and recommended that the county commissioners approve them. If that is the case, then after today's meeting, I will send them an agreement to enter into for them to sign off on.
Appreciate the background. I'll note a couple things too, that these dollars come from a grant that the county was successful in securing through the Department of Community and Economic Development, specifically their Keystone Communities program. And I was in Elwood City last Friday, I think it was, and it looked as though they have some equipment already set up where they're going to do that masonry work.
Counselor, you live down in Elwood. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I have, they've got a big old lift out there
That's
ready to
it.
go,
Good.
yeah.
Yes, so, good, they're making progress.
Yes, they are, and I'm just down there Thursday, so, we met with, the group to discuss all the projects that they're doing down there, so.
This project, we were awarded 50,000 through Keystone Communities, Elwood City Borough matched with 25,000, and then the county allocated 25 through ARPA, for the program as well. Elwood City Borough is in a, designated census tract, so that's why we were able to use ARPA funds for this project. So there's $100,000 that we're able to allocate, to our municipality, to Elwood City Borough, businesses that qualify, and we're about a little bit over half we have under contract. Not all completed, haven't reimbursed all those businesses yet. So we still have some funds available for the program, and the grant application, the grant is expires at the end of June of 2025, which we do have the option to ask for an extension if needed. Hopefully that's not the case. The Chamber of Commerce has been very helpful in trying to get the word out as well too, so.
Thanks to you and your staff for the coordination and administration of this program. Mr. Kennedy, do you have any questions or comments?
I was gonna ask when it expired, and you answered. Thank you.
He's good at reading our minds.
Yeah, have you noticed that already? Anything else, Dan?
No.
Chris?
Yeah, Amy, this is where the, across the boroughs, this is where the bands are,
So what's that again?
the bands and the,
Yeah.
park, yes.
Yep,
That's where they do a lot of the Wonder Elwood activities.
yep, that's the Elwood City's Elwood City Revitalization, is it corporation or? I don't know, ERC,
ECR,
ECR?
Community Revitalization,
Yeah,
ECR, I believe it
ECR,
is.
yeah, Elwood City Community Revitalization.
Is that who owns that property?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so it's not the borough's property?
Nope.
Oh, okay, because I've been down there for many to Wonder Elwood, it's a nice
It
facility.
is, and so they're just gonna clean up the masonry to make it look even better, so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good project, I
It is.
believe, because, I mean, that's the Wonder, if anyone's ever been to the Wonder Elwood down there, those are great events. I know they think I have 4 or 5 planned for this year. And you get a lot of the community there, and that park with the bands and everything, it's a good atmosphere, and that continues to, I think it continues to grow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that expanded around the county, because they're very successful with that program. It's just good to see that.
It
So,
is.
all right, Amy, you answered the question, so
Yep,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen. So this proposed resolution then allows that we enter into an agreement with the two entities that were noted, New Dimension Comics and Elwood City Revitalizations for the two projects that Amy gave us details about. So this is proposed resolution 54. Would one of you care to make a motion for it, please?
I move we accept the resolution.
I'll second.
Thank you both. Any other comments or questions, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sarnado,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Amy, you have another proposal today. This would be number 55, and this involves a situation that developed out at West Park, which is a county-owned park out in Union Township. We apparently had a pretty large sinkhole develop that necessitates a culvert replacement. I'll let you give us the details if you'd be kind enough.
Yeah, I mean, we had a call about a month ago that there was a large sinkhole. People were concerned because just people walked out there with their dogs, and if somebody would have fallen in there, they would have been hurt really bad. So that area has been closed off since that day. And this is I want to say it's like the back entrance to the park, before you get to the main entrance where the sign is and where the gazebo is in the restroom. People use this area to go back to the lookout for the bird watching, and also if they are any mountain bike riders, that's where the mountain bike trail is back there. So that road has been closed since then. We've been working with the county engineer, Taylor Engineering, and they finally have all the bids together. So this is just asking permission for us to advertise, to request bids from contractors to complete the culvert replacement. Joe and Vanessa and I have been in contact with PennDOT, and this is something that is eligible under liquid fuels for the county. We would like to advertise starting Monday, and also advertise the following Monday and Friday, the 25th and the 29th of March, and bids being due on April 15th.
We utilize the same bid system that Mr.
Yes.
Prestapine unveiled last
Yes.
meeting.
Yes, actually that's the only way we will be using, we will be accepting bids is online from now on.
But the advertisements will still be in the printed
Yes. Yep.
edition of the local
Yep.
paper.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see if Commissioner Sanada has any questions.
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's something that needs to be done for safety and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
we appreciate your efforts on that, Amy. I remember you brought it to our attention.
Thank you.
I mean, that's just something that, we appreciate the person who contacted us. I think that's so important in these issues that, we need to know and,
Oh, absolutely,
try
yeah.
to get action taken as quickly as possible. I know that your office has been very instrumental in moving this process along. So thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thanks, Chris. Dan?
It's not a hole, that's a cave. It made a cave.
It is.
We could live in that thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Amy, thanks for what you guys do and get this done. So,
Thank you.
get out the bid and we'll get it dug up and fixed.
Yeah, we definitely need to get taken care of ASAP, so.
Refresh my memory on one thing. Now, you referenced what you called the mountain bike trail, but people can also walk that.
Oh, yeah,
You
and
can
that is
hike it
real,
or-
oh, yeah, you can, but that's what a lot of people just walk that area back there
Yeah.
on the road and to the back where the entrance to the mountain. So actually, when Rebecca went out there right away, as soon as we got the phone call, the amount of people that were out there walking their dogs, and that's why we immediately had to get out there. Because just walking, you would never have noticed how big it was if you got right up to it, and which in some cases it could have been too late, but so we got out there with the help of our maintenance staff and got it blocked off to the best of our ability so that people know to steer clear of it.
Do you happen to know, has it actually grown since we first become aware
I
of
do
it?
not know, I haven't been out there, so I mean, I could always go,
Well,
yeah.
you've got a lot
It
on
was
your
just, like
plate.
you said, I mean, yeah, your description of it, a cave, yeah.
Well, I concur with my colleagues. The sooner we can act on this, the better. So, gentlemen, if there are no other questions for Amy, could I have a motion for Resolution 55, please?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Thank you both. Any further questions or concerns? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Amy, we don't say this often enough. We greatly appreciate all that you do every day and your staff. You've got such a professional staff.
Thank
but
you, I appreciate
You
it.
lead the charge and it means a lot to us.
Oh, thank you, we appreciate that. Yep.
Thank
Let us
you.
know if you need anything.
Thank you, Amy. Take care.
Thank you, you too.
Next on our agenda, we have some visitors from Dawn Enterprises. We're honored today to have Anita McKeever and attorney Robert DeBuono. Would you folks mind coming up to the microphone, please, so that it can pick up your comments? You'll have to pull one chair up. To give some background on this, and I'll let Anita and Robert fill in all the details. You've heard us talk at many of our meetings of the Affordable Housing Fund that the state allowed counties to enact, which takes a small fee every time a deed or a mortgage is recorded in the Register and Recorder's Office. And the revenue is then earmarked for affordable housing efforts throughout the county. And two of the projects that we've already approved this year, as we've done for many, many years, include the Mission Barn group that's based in Shenango Township that builds ramps for folks that have mobility and accessibility issues getting in and out of their homes. And then I think it was just last week, I believe, we voted for the Carpenters Project, which is based down in Elwood City. We gave each of those entities $15,000. Well, maybe about 6 or 8 weeks ago, Anita from Dawn Enterprises came and met with us and presented to us a proposal that would qualify for utilization of some of these funds. And we liked what we heard and checked to make certain there were sufficient dollars in the Affordable Housing Fund at this time. And we determined that we could earmark $50,000 for the proposal that they're making. And I'm going to stop and let you folks fill us in on the specifics of what it is you're proposing, if you would, please.
Sure. And as you all know, I was a former mortgage lender, and I used to see people coming to us, low income, wanting to buy a house, had the good credit, but short funds to close. That's always been a problem. And all these first-time buyer programs require you
to be low, moderate income. So what we're proposing is if you could, maybe $2,000 per applicant, and be under 80% area median income, which is considered low. And those are usually what the banks use to qualify for their first-time buyer programs.
So you folks are willing then to administer this program.
Sure.
If we vote to approve the allocation of the 50,000, am I to understand it would be a 1-year allocation effective, let's say, mid-March of this year, running through mid-March of next year? Is that my understanding?
Was it 2 years?
Oh,
Yeah.
24 months.
Oh, thank you for catch. I apologize.
The funds may be exhausted by
Right,
then. We're not
yeah.
sure how popular the program is. We're trying to be as inclusive as we can. So, our goal is to reach out to the banks, the lenders, private persons too. We don't want to just have persons that are going to the bank, if somebody's being privately funded or needs a little bit of help and then maybe doesn't need the full $2,000. To take a step back, what I've seen in my limited experience with Anita, she's obviously the expert here, but you have people that come to the table that are anxious to buy a house, become a homeowner in Lawrence County, and are stymied by the fact they just can't get that hand money or the closing costs together, and it stops the whole entire transaction. So, these are often people that are low income. These are often people that have already asked for handouts from family and friends, and persons are tapped out. They're so close to home ownership, they just can't get over that last hurdle. It frustrates the bank because the banking regulations, and these people have nowhere else to turn. So I think this is a great use of the funds. We'll try to help as many people as we can. Like I said, I think we want to be as inclusive as possible when we reach out. I think the banks are going to jump all over this. I think they're going to have a number of persons that are going to qualify. 2 years should be plenty of time. I don't suspect it.
I don't think it's gonna last 2 years.
Right. Based on what I've seen, I don't think so. But we'll try to do it first come, first serve, obviously. Not discriminate in any way. But again, like I'm gonna say for the third time, like from my experience and what I'd like to see happen is just be as inclusive and help as many people as can be helped.
One of the things we'll have to monitor on our end will be the ongoing balance in this fund. Obviously, it fluctuates based on economic factors, and you would know better than I would given your background. I'm assuming that lately we haven't had quite as many deeds and mortgages recorded as perhaps 4 or 5 years ago when interest rates were lower. I could be wrong, though.
You'll find that first-time buyers aren't really concerned too much about the interest rates.
Okay,
They still want that first
Okay.
house.
okay,
And they're looking at $60,000 house.
I see. But again, we'll keep an eye on the balance, and I would say that, when you get close to depletion, unless my colleagues disagree, would say come back and we'll revisit it. The only other concern I'll raise, but you've hit on it, Counselor, but I do want to drive the point home. I would hope that you will do all you can to make sure that, as best you can, notifying people throughout the entire county. And that's sometimes hard to do. We've got folks out in the eastern end of the county that maybe get the Butler Eagle. And we have folks in the southern end of the county, and you would know some folks get the Beaver County Times down there. Same up north. Some of your friends probably get the Sharon Herald up north. So I'm hoping this is something that we can broadcast throughout the entire county.
Yeah, and I think we can address a couple of those right now. I think phase one is going to be reaching out to the banks, and I don't want this to be a program, I think it's both of us that are just a bank-driven program. We're not here to help banks, we're here to help people.
But I think the first step is to reach the banks, because they're gonna have the biggest pool of individuals that can benefit. And we'll reach the banks from Elwood all the way to New Wilmington and everything in between. Second thing is we're gonna, we'll contact our marketing director, and we'll post things on Facebook and on our website indicating that it's open to the general public throughout the county. So I think that's a start. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because one of my concerns is we may go through the money sooner rather than later. But I think between reaching the banks, posting everything on the websites and the Facebook, hopefully that reaches enough people.
May I make one more friendly suggestion?
Absolutely.
If you do put together, let's say, a one-page document about this program, could I suggest that you give thought to sending it to each borough and township municipal office, and include the city of Newcastle, obviously, but every borough and township, but that's your call.
No, that's a great idea. We'll do that, and they can post it at the municipal buildings. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions.
If you need emails for them on our planning website, they have emails for every
Okay, good.
township and municipality in Orange County.
Well, I think what we can do, probably put one letter together that can serve both the banks and the municipalities and get that sent to everybody.
Dan, anything else?
That's good. No, good news.
Thank you. Chris?
I think this sounds like, something that's gonna be worthwhile to the community. I know when we had a meeting, you made some very good points, and I didn't stress the point, it's not coming out of the general fund. Right. I think that's the most important. So and hopefully the transfers will still come, but this is not a reoccurring expense for the county. So I think that point needs to be taken. I mean, that's what the money is to be used for, and to encourage the home buyers is important. Chairman Boker said too, with the number of houses being sold. I know you're knowledgeable in that area.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully that's still happening. I mean, but you read the headlines, with interest rates up, things aren't selling. I guess the lower end houses were still selling.
I think.
Yeah, so look forward to this, and I think this would be a positive.
Thank you.
Thank you for your efforts and taking the opportunity to do this, so thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And I want to reemphasize, because I'm very fond of the two projects that I mentioned earlier, the Carpenters Project and the Mission Barn. What we're doing today in no way jeopardizes the allocations that we've already made to those two agencies this year. And so they're not going to be affected by this. They'll get their funds. And but I hope it's an overwhelming success, and that you'll be back at some point and say, this is working well. And assuming we have a sufficient balance in this fund, I think if it works, we'll continue to try to help them. So,
Great news.
Dan or Chris, anything else? Well, thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.
So we have the proposed resolution that reads that Dawn Services will be allocated $50,000 from the Affordable Housing Fund to be used for the first time low, moderate home buyers or prospective homeowner closing cost grant program. And Debbie, in the attachment here, or in the resolution, there are a lot of details, and then there's also a letter attached. I'm sure you'll be talking to Anita and Robert, but there are some additional information here as well. Thank you both.
One thing, it's Dawn Enterprises would be the participant, this would be the administrator. Yeah. I know it's like 5 different Dawn entities, but.
Counselor, thank you for catching that. So gentlemen, if there are no objections, we're going to scratch the word services under the therefore section. And I'm sorry, Robert, what is it? It's enterprises?
Enterprises.
Enterprises, okay. We will eliminate the word services. We will substitute the word enterprises. And actually, in the balance of it's interesting, in the balance of the resolution, it does say enterprises.
There it is.
The only place where it says services is down at the bottom. And thank you for catching that.
No, we get that all the time.
We appreciate your clarification. I still need a motion, don't I, Vanessa? Yes. May I have a motion for Resolution 56?
I move we accept Resolution 56.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Any further concerns or comments? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call, please. please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. You folks are welcome to stay if you'd like. If you have to move along, we understand.
I'll head out. Thank you very much for your attention.
Take care, Robert.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Next, we have a proposed budget amendment, number 57. This amendment request is the district attorney's office, and they are taking under the line item of a revenue fund account, DEA TFO, which I believe is a drug enforcement agency. I can't remember what TFO stands for, but it's, I believe these are dollars that the district attorney's office receives,
Yes.
external dollars.
Yes.
Is that your understanding?
Yes.
And what they're doing is they're taking 20,000 of revenue, and then they are applying that to the district attorney's overtime general expense fund account by the same amount, $20,000. Okay, which necessitates us having it's a good problem to have.
It's better than the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Chris, do you have any questions about this proposal? No. Thank you. Dan, anything?
I'm good.
Thank you. May I have a motion then for proposed resolution 57?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next resolution is number 58. And this involves a transfer of $200,000 from the general fund line item of prior year balance. And we are transferring this $200,000 into the miscellaneous allocation line item for the general fund expense account. This is the allocation to the Newcastle Public Library. History on this was that the library approached the previous Board of Commissioners indicating that they were going to be applying for a state grant to assist with upgrades at the public library in downtown Newcastle. They asked us at the time that the $200,000 that we would earmark would be utilized as match if they were successful in securing the grant. Unfortunately, they were not successful. However, they did ask us that in advance. They said, in the event we are not successful, in blunt terms, may we still have the money for our purposes of the necessary renovations that are being made at the library. And at the time, Commissioner Spielvogel and Commissioner Burek and I agreed to that. So this is simply a budget amendment to reflect movement of those dollars from the one line item into the appropriate line item that allows us then to distribute these dollars to the library. Did I say that correctly?
Perfect.
Oh, okay, thank you. So that being said, Mr. Kennedy, do you have any questions on this?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Sonata?
No, I just think that this goes back to the elevator originally, if I recall, with what I read and I know had discussions with Andrew and everything. And, the public library does a fine job in the community and I have no issues with it, so I look forward to it.
Thank you, sir, very much. That being said, may I have a motion for proposed resolution 58?
I move we support resolution 58.
Is there a second? Second. Thank you both, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. We have 5 budget transfer requests. I'll read them through one by one. If you have a question as I go through these, just stop me and we'll address it. The first comes from District Judge Cartwright's office in Elwood City. They are asking for a transfer of $91.50 from their contingency into that of maintenance and repairs. The tax claim office
is asking for a $150 transfer from a line item in their budget known as contracted consultants. They're asking that to be, the $150 to be transferred into the line item of association dues. The Juvenile Probation Office is asking for a $2,300 transfer from their contingency into their office equipment line item. And then we have a number of transfers, if I'm counting correctly, 10 of them, each in the amount of $360, going towards the mail, mail software lease payment. And it's broken down as follows. And each of these are $360. First is from Commissioner's contingency into Commissioner's equipment lease line item. Second is through the CYS contingency into their equipment lease line item. Domestic relations from their contingency into their equipment lease line item. Tax claim, same thing, their contingency into their equipment lease. The sheriff, the very same thing, their contingency into their equipment and lease. All of these are equipment and lease, by the way. The same with District Judge Amodi from her contingency. The same with District Judge Cartwright, his contingency. The other two district judges, Judge Nicholson, hers is actually coming from her postage line item into equipment lease. And then Judge Russo is from his contingency. And then finally, the Register and Recorders is $360 from her contingency into her equipment lease line item. And then finally, the District Attorney's Office is asking for a $20,000 transfer from their staff overtime line item into their toxicology line item. These are the transfer requests that have been submitted to us. I'll stop. I can either take a motion to approve them, or if you want to discuss them first, whatever your preference is, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. Thank you both. Now, are there any questions about any of these five? Hearing none, let's do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well, we're coming to the end. A couple of announcements. The next public meeting of this board will be held 1 week from today, Tuesday, March 26th at 10 a.m. It's open to the public. It's in this room. Tomorrow, the prison board will hold its monthly meeting at 12 noon here in this room, and that's open to the public. And as we noted earlier, tomorrow at 4 o'clock will be the ceremony celebrating the county's 175th anniversary of its creation. I'm going to open it up now for any public comments that anyone might have.
I'm just I'm wondering about the celebration tomorrow. We have tickets number 213 and 214. How many?
You're not the first person that's asked that same question. The number of the ticket doesn't matter. They printed, I think, 125 tickets. So you're fine. Just, I don't think they started with number 1. And someone else asked that question the other day. They said, hey, my ticket says 200 something. Am I going to be able to get in? The answer is yes, because they didn't start at number 1. But they did limit it. Is it 125, Debbie?
I think they said 125. I want to look at my ticket because I might go on mine. If I can find it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here it is. Mine's 175.
Yeah, so don't let that worry you. You'll still get in.
Well, I was looking, since I have my ticket, we paid our money.
Yep.
I'm assuming we get in.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering how many, what's the capacity?
125.
But there were only 125 sold, so you're good.
Yeah.
You have a ticket, you'll get it.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes, I'm a little bit different than Dorothy. As I sit here, I feel that the commissioners are a cash cow for any number of organizations. Now, I feel the Carpenters is a good organization, and the Mission Barn was a good organization. But I really don't feel the same about Dawn Enterprises. I feel that they're grabbing money from the county any way they can. And I was worried about how much are they going to charge for administration fees of this money that you give them. There's just certain things that I know you got 400 some employees you take care of, and this youth services takes millions of dollars. But I kind of watch these $50,000 at a time. If we want affordable housing, one of the ways to make affordable housing is to have less taxes on the people who have these houses, and we all would have affordable housing instead of a number of people that have affordable, that is working for it. Oh, it's a wonderful idea, but I'd rather do my own money. When I go to Panera Bread, I see they give millions of dollars to charity. Hey, I'd rather give that money to charity on my own. All right. Subaru, they give $300 for every car that's sold. Yeah, they charge you probably $100 to work that system. Plus, you pay taxes on that extra money, and this is the last money that you pay off when you get your car paid off. And so I just rather handle money myself than let somebody else give it away. I thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Any other comments at this time? Thank you all. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. Mr. Kennedy.
I'm good.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Sanada?
Good as well. Hopefully we're gonna have a nice celebration tomorrow for the 175th anniversary. It's a milestone, and hopefully we'll be there for the 200th. I don't know, Dan.
Not at the rate I'm going. You two might be.
I don't know, Dan. We're all the same age, man.
Yeah, I
When you start thinking about it, it doesn't seem like it. Going back, I just remember we're all in that zone when 1976.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all high school at that
That's right.
time. And I just remember when they buried it, Mr. Burchett was there at the time. They buried the time capsule of the Union in 1976. But I think it's going to be 100 years before it opens. I think we should have an amendment to get it after 50, because I would like to look inside there and see, because I was a student council member at the time and I was at that ceremony.
Right.
So this sort of reminds me of that, when you look back at the time, and that's going to be 50 years for the bicentennial. And that was a big to-do for the country and everything. And I know at Union we participated in that. Buried the time capsule. So you may have some piece of wood stuff in there.
I might wear my sesquicentennial hat to the sesquicentennial celebration, but my hat was for the city of Newcastle that my mother bought one for me and one for my sister back in 1948. I've been saving this for some special occasion. This might be it.
We'll look for you tomorrow. I'm anxious to see that hat.
It'll be obvious. We'll take your picture.
There you go. Yeah, please wear it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Joe or Vanessa, have we missed anything?
It's not on the agenda, but next Tuesday at 8:30, there's also a salary board meeting.
Oh, okay. We'll have to do the legal ad for that as well.
Right.
In advance. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, anything?
No.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and wish you all a safe rest of the day. May I please have an adjournment motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye, opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned, and Joe will turn off the computer. Anita, I have one other thing I got to catch you on.